We are deep in the crypto bear market right now, and many of you watching this are too afraid to add any altcoins to your portfolio because you think prices are going to go significantly lower. But here's the thing, I think that we're getting very close to a bottom in the crypto markets. If you watch to the end of this video, I'm going to give you 3 cryptos that can make you a multimillionaire in the next bull cycle. Hey team, I'm Matthew Breenan, co-founder of CryptoCharge.com. At CryptoCharge, we make it super easy for you to learn how to make money with cryptocurrency. We do 5 live shows a week, covering everything from macroeconomics to industry-specific news, as well as a look at the charts to give you actionable updates so that you know what to do with your money, whether the market's going up or down, and how to profit from it. Make sure you guys use TA Academy for 40% off. That's TA Academy for 40% off. Now, let's get into the charts and take a look at some of the altcoins that I'm super bullish on that can potentially make you a multi-millionaire if you're diligent and buy some of these coins at the deep discounts they're at today. So the first one's going to be Energy Web Token. And Energy Web Token is a company that focuses on essentially carbon credits and a variety of other ways that you can use this currency to facilitate transactions, whether it be to tokenize your energy from your home production or from solar panels or potentially for electric vehicles. They're partnered with Shell and a whole bunch of other really cool companies. And when we look at this chart here, it doesn't look that exciting, right? In fact, from a structural standpoint, this looks incredibly bearish in the short term here. But I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why this represents just about 1% of my portfolio and why I continue to hold it, even though I've seen the price action that I've seen here. So you can see here that when Energy Web Token launched back here in 2020, that it was trading at just 50 cents per coin. And on this KuCoin exchange, we can see that price reach out all the way to $50 per coin. So if we measure this from launch all the way to the top here, that is almost 100,000% return, right? Almost a 10,000% return. Absolutely phenomenal. But since we peaked out over here in March of 2021, there's been a big sell pressure on Energy Web Token here. And you can see that there was actually a big head and shoulder pattern that came in here. And currently what we're doing is actually retesting the neckline here. So I do think that Energy Web Token has lower to go. So why I'm telling you this is because there's opportunity potentially at lower prices here. So where I would be looking to pick up some Energy Web Token would be somewhere down in this region. So I'm between $1.77 and up here towards $2.30. You can see that price stuttered in here a little bit back here in 2020 before it really went on to push out some bigger candles that we also found a little bit of support here. So if you're able to nab some Energy Web Token down in this area, it would be an absolutely wonderful place to add. So the other thing that I like to look at is we talked about this wick up here. And I like to consider these sometimes illiquidity wicks, meaning that there were very few people who were actually able to sell at this price point towards $49, $50. And we've seen historically on many altcoins and other assets outside of cryptocurrency that if you see a wick like this, of this size, that it has a tendency in the future to get filled, meaning that you get a full candle body close up in that area. Now, I'm not saying that the Energy Web Token is guaranteed to hit $50, but it is up there and it does present the idea that prices could go significantly higher. So in this area, again, 177 through 230 is going to be the entry for you. But if we take our Fibonacci retracement tool and we look from the swing high to the most recent swing low here, what do we see? We'll see, first of all, that we're trading below the 20% Fibonacci, right around $11.87, meaning that most of the risk in this trade has already been taken out because we're trading so deeply below any all-time highs, and we're not buying into any parabolic activity. And it shows us here that the 702, meaning that, if we were just retrace 70% of the move up, not even making a new all-time high, that trades right around $36. So if we look at current market prices, that'd be roughly an 800% move. But if we're patient, we say, okay, I'm going to buy kind of in the middle here, right around $2. So between $1.77 and $2.30, right around $2, just to the 702 is a 16, almost 17x reward. And that's not even making a new all-time high. What if Energy Web Token does come back to its all-time high and we fill that wick up there, right? You guys can see that we're offering a 2,400% reward. What about to the 1.618, which is a golden ratio? We can see up here that's around $80. That's a 38x reward. And a full extension is a 4.236. That says Energy Web Token is worth in the future somewhere around $200. But again, just for the hypothetical situation here, $2 to the 4.236, that is over a 100x potentially on Energy Web Token. Now, again, like I said, this represents a small portion of my portfolio. I'm not betting everything on Energy Web Token. I have much bigger bags of other assets that I've covered before, like XRP, Casper, and API3. But I'm not going to ignore this opportunity and also look at the fact that within the altcoin market, when alt season does occur, you get rotations in the market. You're not going to see Energy Web token put in its parabolic top at the exact same time potentially that XRP might. So if one goes before the other, you can take some of those profits off the table and reinvest those profits into laggards that haven't taken off yet. So it is a good idea to diversify yourself a little bit, put some chips around the table on some assets that haven't exploded yet, and be patient with those and see what does pop first. The next asset I want to talk to you guys about is DAG. The ticker is DAG, but the name of the token is Constellation Network. And fundamentally, I'm bullish on this because they use a different consensus mechanism than most chains do. It's a DAG, so it's a directed acyclic graph, which is hyper efficient at transmitting data way faster than a blockchain does because it's not linear. And then the other portion that I'm very bullish about is that they actually have contracts with the Air Force, the United States Air Force, to store data on their behalf using the Constellation protocol. So that on its own is a wonderful fundamental backdrop for us to consider here. But if we look at the chart for DAG, it's actually a great looking chart. We have the 5-day chart here on KuCoin. It is the most price action offered on TradingView on any exchange. And you can see here that DAG actually was kind of stuck around here, right? All through 2020, not making all-time highs, really frustrating people. And honestly, this is where I think API 3 and Casper are at right now. I think that they're in a structure that looks a lot like this before they go absolutely nuts. But if we just look at the Fibonacci's here, and we go swing high, swing low, we can see that DAG has actually already extended out to a 21 extension because the Fibonacci sequence is infinite. We look at a 4.236 and then we add other Fibonacci sequence numbers. It's essentially just adding the previous two numbers in the sequence to get the next number. But you guys can see here that we found a little bit of support up here around the 2.618. Found a little bit of a bottom here. We're building a little bit of consolidation. I do think that DAG also comes lower. I think a lot of the crypto market has lower to go still. I don't think the bottom is in, but I think we're getting very close to a bottom. But I would be very interested in DAG to pick up additional DAG down here, first around 3.5 cents, and then again down here, maybe around the previous all-time high, around 2.3 cents. Please do not tiptoe around this and not buy any DAG until 2.3 cents and say, I'm not buying at 3.5 if it's going to go to 2.3. There's no guarantee. So you should buy some at 3.5, some at 2.3. But let's go ahead and just split the difference here and just say that we're going to enter right around 3 cents, right? So we'll go ahead and grab our measurement tool right around 3 cents. Let's look to the previous all-time high. That is a 12x on DAG. What about to the 34 extension around 66 cents? It's a 20x reward. If we look at something even higher like this 144, that could be a 9,000% return, right? And we look up here towards the 233 and the 377. We start to look at the 100xers again, right? And again, not every coin is going to go through this crazy parabolic blow off finishing top, right? Some of them might fall short, and we never want to just take all of our profits at one target. We want to take profits on the way up, especially if you see a huge parabolic rise up. Take out your initial investment because you know what? Price does come back down. It's going to retest itself. It's never a bad idea if you see a lot of profit on the table to take out your initial investment and pay yourself back, okay? Let's get to the last coin I want to talk to you about. I'm sure you've heard about this one before. It's been around for a bit now and it had a lot of talk in this last bull run, and that was VeChain. And I'm bullish on VeChain from a fundamental standpoint because they're hyper-focused on efficientizing supply chains and being able to track and have visibility for consumers on where products came from and be able to see if there were any issues along the way. So if I'm shipping maybe some sushi from one area to another, and I know there's ingredients that came, the rice came from here, the fish came from here, the seaweed came from here, and we know there's a problem with the fish, I can find out what hatchery that fish came from, and we would be able to alert people way quicker. Hey, everything with these QR codes on them that have all this tracking that comes from this hatchery, pull them off the shelf so people don't get sick, right? There's so many use cases for logistics tracking, especially with blockchain. So let's look at the technicals. And this one really just tells such a clear story to me. So looking here at VeChain, we have another illiquidity wick. You guys can see here that price was actually up here at $1 per coin, but nobody was able to get that price, right? Because price just came straight down and we didn't really start closing any reasonable candles until about 1 penny. So pretty much dropped 99% from that dollar mark and then bottomed out and then went on for a nice run. But here's what I want to show you. If we were to look at this price right here and say, okay, this is the top. Now, I don't think that this is the top. I'm going to show you where I'm actually going to pull this fib range from. But you can see that we came in for a retrace to the 20% and then turned over on ourselves here. I don't think that that's a good Fibonacci range for us. But if we look at this swing high here, where we actually have candle body closes, to this swing low, we actually get a pretty compelling picture here for VeChain. First thing I want to point out to you is look where this illiquidity wick lines up with. The 89 extension at $1. The Fibonacci's from a different piece of price action support this illiquidity wick being filled at some point in the future. So let's say we weren't even tiptoeing around price and we want to look at current price, right? And we say, okay, well, from current price, where do I think price is going to go? Let's look even to the previous all-time high. That's almost a 10x right there. We can see to the previous illiquidity wick is a 40x opportunity potentially. But I think VeChain along with the rest of the market has lower to go. So if we were able to get a retest down here around 1 penny and we get out obviously towards $1, that's 100x right there. If we go absolutely parabolic and VeChain really explodes and we get out to a 377 extension, you're looking at an astronomical reward that I would not want you guys to miss, okay? So these are just a few altcoins that you should consider adding. This is not financial advice. Make sure you do your own research, look at your own charts, and make sure it's a good decision for you and your portfolio. But I would highly recommend at least looking into them so that you're prepared for the next bull run and can make yourself a multi-millionaire.